Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? So a lot of people have been talking to me about AMC's reg show, how they're able to reset the clocks, how they're able to stay on there. I'm going to show you guys some nefarious stuff that happened to the Overstock lawsuit. This is in a lot of court case filings that you guys can go ahead and pull up. I'm going to post this one here on the bottom of the video, and I'm also going to post a Flex Report site as well. But let's get into what is going on and how they're able to stay on this longer and how they're actually able to profit off of this nefarious stuff. So if you guys look over here, this is through Hassan. He was an options market maker, and he went to Goldman, and they were basically doing nefarious activities while Overstock was on the reg show list. Now, if you come over here and look, it was Hassan was shared an agreed upon price. Meanwhile, the counterparty, which is Goldman, for instance, brokerage said, oh, there you go, Goldman or Merrill, he was willing to pay the price to Hassan to obtain on his books shares of hard-to-borrow securities. And then what they would do is they would do puts and buy rights on those as well, and then they would take those securities and they would lend those out in the meantime until those contracts would expire. But they would make the contracts long enough to where they would all profit. So Hassan would basically profit by giving them fake shares through his options chain, and it locates through his options chain that they would take, and they would use those to go out and loan out to people. Then they would recall those when they made the money. And then, as you guys can see, it would reset the transaction. Because if you guys go ahead and look down and read what is going on, nothing was actually sent. So what was going on is he would create these through swap options in ISDA. These banks would clear these options. They would clear these. Oh yeah, we got these. Here's our locates. Now let's go ahead and let's use these locates on this hard-to-borrow security, and we'll loan them out. So basically, to make it very simple, you would have Hassan over here. He would write an options contract through ISDA with a bank. They would attach a flex options. They would attach married puts. And they would attach buy rights. And the buy rights would be how they would get out of the tax purposes. Now, what they would do is Hassan would say, hey, let's open this contract, and by doing this, I will have locates here. I will write this on my book, okay? So on my book now, I have, let's say, 1 million shares of this really hard-to-borrow security through flex options that you're going to go ahead and okay. The bank's going to say, okay. Now, what Hassan's going to do is he now has 1 million shares of this locate. And he's going to say, okay, I'm going to now go ahead and give this to the banker. The banker paid him a price for those fake locates. Now, the banker would go ahead and he would loan these securities out, or they would use those securities. So when the regulators came, they could reset the clock on their FTDs and to reset the clock on the reg show. Because what they were able to do is use those securities. If you read down here, there would be an appearance of delivery of the purchases by these fake shares on the market maker's books, who actually never delivered them in the first place. Hassan never delivered these in the first place because they were fake shares. It was under a ISDA contract. Now, if you come and look over here at the Flex Options report, this is Flex Options, talks about SIBO. This is how you can, talks about the terms, how they're flexible, all these things you can do. Now, most of these flex options go down through this. They go to a broker, they go to an exchange, and then they're listed. And you can pull them up here on the Flex Options report on the OCC.com, which I will put on the bottom here. And as you guys can see, you can see AMC's, here they are. People are opening up puts, married buy rights, and flex options on AMC. They did this 2 days ago. This is just on the 2nd, and this is yesterday's. So they're actively doing this, and you can track this on this website. But the problem is what Hassan and these guys are doing, these people that are doing nefarious activities to reset these clocks, they don't take this path. They take the top path, which means that the bank themselves is clearing it. Like I showed you, he comes up, they write a contract, he says he has locates through options, through his options chains, but he doesn't have them. They go ahead and say, yep, everything's cleared. So there you go. Right here, it is now cleared by the bank. Executed in ISDA, so we don't see it. It's all nefarious, and we don't see that stuff. And this is my point. They're all able to do this backhand. It's this backhand shakes, backhand this. Here's locates, here's this through options and this and that. And that's just how they're able to reset this stuff. So now it looks like right here, look at this. So the regulators would come in and check, all right, it's this time. We need to look. Well, guess what? I just closed out my share by this fake one, and now I have a new long position. So now the regulator goes, oh, everything's good to go. So by doing that, you can reset the day on the delivery clock back to day one. So now they can go ahead and extend it, and this is how they are doing that. I'll go ahead and post this on this so you guys can go ahead and read more and more about this. But it's nefarious backhand deals that I showed you guys through ISDA. And this is why I've been talking about Phase 6 being so big. Phase 6 was supposed to have another person come over here and watch this. So instead of the bank saying, yeah, everything's good to go, let me take your fake shares and locate and reset and sell them out in the meantime, and then reset our clocks. So I'm making profits to reset the clock. He makes a profit to give them fake shares. It's like I said, it's all just a complete gong show. And it's all just a scam, dude. But if you guys want to read more about this, I'm going to go ahead and post this on the bottom, and I'll post this on the bottom and this on the bottom. But thank you guys for listening. But this is how they're resetting it. They can reset it through nefarious activities like this through ISDA contracts. But thank you for listening. Have a good day.